All right, everyone, welcome to our 2020-21 Junior Cotillion Parents Reception. We thank you guys all for spending a little time with us tonight. We're hoping that it will be short. We know that everyone has had long days, and we want to make sure that this is succinct as possible, but also provide time at the end for some question and answer. So we have 3 chapters in our program, obviously Alexandria, Great Falls, and North Reston. Most of what we talk about will be generally applicable to all of our chapters tonight, but there are some small differences that we will point out as we go along as we can. And if you have any questions about your chapter specifically, please feel free to let us know. If you do have any questions, there is a question and answer box. Feel free to put those questions in throughout the presentation, throughout our parents' reception, and then at the end, we'll go ahead and answer those. So things are going to look different this year as they are across basically every aspect of our lives, right? So we will be having shorter classes and our condensed season. So normally we have, monthly classes. This year, our classes will start in September and they'll end in November. We're trying to get as many classes in a condensed time as possible because there is this idea that a second wave of the coronavirus might be coming. We want to try to get through classes before that hits again in the fall and winter. So classes will only be an hour long. We will only be doing etiquette and light refreshments during classes. There will be no dancing. This is out of an abundance of caution. We've heard mixed things from some of our parents about whether or not they want dancing. Some do, some don't. This year, just because of the environment that we have, there will not be dancing. So that means that classes will be shorter. They will include a new layout. So normally the kids sit around the room. This year they will be seated at round tables. And there will be about 3 to 4 students per table. So we're trying to ensure as much social distancing as possible in our class environment. And then we will be having, like I said, this is generally speaking across our chapters, but it does change a bit depending on which chapter you are a part of. 2 classes in September, 2 classes in October, 1 class in November, and then instead of a ball at the end of our season, we're going to be doing our instructional dinner for both first and second year. Normally this is just reserved for second year. This year we'll be doing for both years. That being said, because we are doing a condensed season right now, our premier and high school programs will be delayed until the spring. Those are more community-based programs where students are able to go out into the community and practice the things we do in Cotillion. And so because of the nature of our world right now, we will be putting that off until the spring. So first and second year, like I said, are going to be identical in structure. Where they differ is in the content that we teach. So 2 classes per month, or 2 events per month, with the final event instead of a ball being that instructional dinner. Our registration process this year is going to be very, very different than it has been in years past. Normally we group students by the elementary school that they attended. This year, because we are doing shortened classes, those class sizes are also going to be very limited. So we will have a max of 30 students per class to ensure proper social distancing. This means that parents can opt in to the class time that works best for them. So we will have, for example, 3 different class times for an hour each on a given class night. Classes will be filled on a first come, first served basis. So if you have a specific time that you and your child's friends want to all attend together, the parents now will have to work together and coordinate to figure out which time that will be. Because we also have limited class sizes this year, we will be having your deposit will secure your spot. So in the past, we've been pretty flexible about deposits. This year, a $25 deposit will be required within 2 weeks of your registration in order to secure your spot. If we don't receive that deposit within 2 weeks, we will have to move your student to the wait list for this year. Now, I'm sure you guys know that there are health and safety guidelines across the spectrum of whatever activities you're looking for your family and your student. Here are the things that we are implementing. We will be doing a waiver. right? So a waiver that will need to be signed before students come to our program. Before each class, before even students get out of their car, we will be doing a temperature check. We will be asking that students wear masks during their class. We will be using hand sanitizer very liberally throughout the evening. Like I mentioned before, our seating arrangement will be at tables with honestly as few students per table as possible. So we're hoping 3 to 4. And we will also be greatly reducing the number of students in the class and the number of student assistants we have. Now, this is hard because we love our student assistants so much, and we know our students love our student assistants so much. But in order to make sure that it's as safe as possible, we're going to try to reduce exposure to people. So here's our class makeup policy for the year. We will be providing a virtual makeup class for every class that we have. So twice a month, we will be having a makeup class. If you miss for any reason, because we will have little flexibility in terms of allowing you to come to a different makeup class, we will be pointing you to our online class. In the event of a potential future shutdown, so say we get a month into the season and it looks like we can't carry on for that time being, one of the benefits of condensing our season is that it allows us a little more wiggle room in the later parts of the year. So if we were to have to shut down in October, for example, we might have more leeway to open back up in March and April. So that would be our hope, but we do have sort of a refund grid, like that we like to call it. In the coming slides, we'll show you that as well. So here's how the class pricing is going to work this year. Both years, because the structure and the class time is the same, both years are $365. Now, first year, this number is staying the same as in years past because we are adding in the instructional dinner, which is more a little more pricey than not having it. And then our second year program is actually reduced $30 because class times are shortened. So for everyone, the price is actually the same. We are also changing our payment policy generally. So normally we would ask that the tuition is paid by the first class. Because of the economic climate, we're totally comfortable with families paying incrementally as needed, as long as we get that deposit to secure your spot. And you can pay as needed or as works for your family. We just ask that things are paid by the final dinner, so by the final event. We also are expanding our scholarship opportunities. So each chapter has the opportunity for 2 full scholarships and 3 half or partial scholarships. These are also granted on a first come, first served basis. So those who reach out to us first are the ones who get the scholarships, and also on a need-based situation. For those parents who may not be comfortable sending their child to any sort of in-person activity, we will be providing an online-only class for $150. So that is 5 online classes. So again, those twice a month for September and October, and one in November. If you would also like your student to attend the online-only classes and also the dinner, you can come to the dinner for an additional fee of $50. All right, so we know there's a lot of questions about how we are handling the cancellation of the 2019 season. We have been putting off trying to figure out what we are going to do because we've been wanting so badly to have a ball, and it's just things are not allowing for that. So obviously this was a surprise to everyone. And so here's what we are going to do. For returning students, so for our second year students who are coming back, you will receive a 10% discount on your registration. So instead of that, we showed you that $365. Instead of it being $365, the registration for a returning student would actually be $328.50. And I'll come back to that in a second. If you had a student in second year who you were interested in joining Premier or high school, once those registrations open in the spring, you will also be eligible for that 10% discount. Now, if you're moving or you're not able to return to the program, you will receive a refund. We're happy to provide that. The discount for next year is actually greater than the prorated refund. So we're trying to be generous for our returning families. So if you cannot return next year, we will be provided a prorated amount for the price of what the ball would cost for your student. And like I said, that's actually, the discount is actually greater than that. All right, here is our refund policy grid. Like I said before, if we have classes that are missed or we have to completely shut down, here's what the refund scale looks like. So if we get to, August and things look crazy and we have to shut down, obviously you're going to get a full refund. After the first class, because we have to do handbooks and things like that, we retain an administrative fee. So if you do the first class and then we have to cancel, you'll get $265, and you can see sort of the scale as it descends. This is also on our website, so you have this available to you whenever you need to look at it. And this is also based on someone who is paid in full before the first class. So we can work individually with families as needed, depending on what our health climate looks like in the fall. But we wanted to let you know that we do have a plan in place for refunds for the fall if things can't proceed as normal. All right, so we really booked through that. We want to make sure that we have enough time for your questions. And as a reminder also, all of this information will be disseminated to families via email. It's all now currently on our website. And so all of this information is going to be widely available, but we also wanted to take the time to answer questions for you now. So go ahead and type in your questions, and Mr. Wellington, who's our, IT support behind the camera, will go ahead and make sure that we can get those answered.
Will there be a ball for the students who attended in 2019?
So there's a couple ways that we are happy to handle this for students who attended in 2019. We did not have the final ball. So because of that, you can either take that discount for the 2021 season, so that the 10% discount can sort of go towards that as our, a good faith effort for our families who are returning. But we're happy to work with families. I had someone reach out and ask if their student could just attend the final dinner. Like if we weren't going to have a ball, but we're going to have a final dinner, if their student could just attend the final dinner. So we're happy to work with families on that to ensure that there is some sort of final event for you, or we can do a refund, or you can, take that discount to the 2021 season. But there won't be a ball as we know it for 2019 or for the 2021 season, because we just can't foresee a way where we can have people in the same room, dancing together.
If you live in Reston, can you attend the Great Falls chapter?
Yeah, if you live in, the question was, if you live in Reston, can you attend the Great Falls chapter? Of course, we're super happy to, within our chapters, have you attend whichever location works best for you and your family, or if you have friends who attend a different chapter, we're happy to work with you on that, for sure.
What is the earliest one can register?
The earliest someone can register is right now. Registration's open officially. So we are happy to receive your registrations. You'll notice for our second year program, the registration fee already reflects the discounted rate. So you don't have to even worry about emailing us and letting us know that you're a returning student. We're going to keep that rate up for about a month because most of our second year students are returning. So registration, I'm happy to announce, finally, we're like months away from when we normally do it, but we're so happy to announce that it is officially open. Oh, and as a reminder, when you register, you will be picking the group and the time that you want to attend. So all of that is on the website. So when you go into register, it will it'll show you the class dates and times, and you will select the group that you want to register for. If there's any more questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in the box. We moved a little quicker than we thought we would, which is great because we don't want to waste your time. Looks like.
When will the student sign the waiver?
So the question was about when will students sign the waiver? Before classes start, we will send you like a DocuSign email. So it will all be done digitally. Again, we're trying to minimize the amount of like human contact that we have. So we will be providing that digitally before classes start.
The other one was just how are the classes going to be, how are classes following COVID-19 measures? And I'll share the
Oh, the question was how are classes following COVID-19 measures, so sort of our health and safety guidelines. So beyond the waiver, which doesn't do anything for your health and safety really, we're doing temperature checks. Masks are required for students coming into class, a ton of hand sanitizer. We plan on really being very liberal with that. Also, if you feel comfortable with having your students wear gloves to class, we know Cotillion traditionally in a lot of places they have students wear white gloves. We don't require that of our students, and there's varying research that talks about the effectiveness of wearing gloves and if that helps or hinders. So we may or may not request that closer to the season as we see what's happening, but at the very least, hand sanitizer. We are going to make sure that our students are seated instead of being right next to each other. They're going to be seated at round tables, about 3 to 4 students per table. So trying to still ensure as much distancing as possible. And then class sizes will be limited to 30 students per class and very few, maybe 1 or 2 student assistants to help out.
Then the next question was if their student attended in 2019 and they'll be in year 2, so that if they have a who didn't attend but they want to attend in year 2, can they join the year 2 class?
So the question was about if you are attending year 2 as a returning student and you have a friend who wanted to join, are they able to do so? Yes, always. We always welcome students in, even if they haven't attended the previous year. I will say that for non-returning students, the price for registration does not include the discount. So the price for a non-returning student will be $365, and for a returning student for second year will be $328.50 to reflect that discount.
And can someone apply the discount for a second student? So that'd be potentially a sibling.
So there is a sibling discount. The sibling discount is 10%. So for second year, oh, I'm sorry, the question, I didn't say the question. The question was if you have a sibling, do the siblings also get a discount? The answer is yes. If you have, for example, 2 students in the second year, you have twins or siblings that attend together, both of them will get a 10% discount at the same cost. So both will be $328.50. If you have a first year student and a second year student, both of them will also get that discount. So yes, if you have siblings, for both of them, the price is $328.50.
The next question was, can you please confirm that temperature will be checked before they get out of the vehicle or in the vehicle?
Yes. So yes, so the temperature check, there's a question about how the temperature checks will be conducted. Before students get out of their car, so through their little car window, we are going to be doing a temperature check. If the temperature is above our standard 98.7, we will ask them to attend the virtual class for that session. As students, and this process will also help us to stagger our students entering. So normally all of our students sort of congregate in the main hall of the country club when they come in. We'll do a temperature check and then that student will go in. And then we'll do the next student temperature check. So this will really help us to stagger students so that they're not all congregating in the same spot as they come into Cotillion, and really help us to keep things socially distant.
And then the other one was just showing the class times again. So I'll show the screen.
Oh, there was another,
review it.
Yeah, there's another question about showing class times again. So here's how our groups, in order to try to ensure that we can have as many students who want to attend as possible attend, we are doing 1-hour classes. So group 1 will actually meet from 5:45 to 6:45. Group 2 will meet from 7 to 8 p.m. And group 3 will meet from 8:15 to 9:15 p.m. So a little different, obviously, than in years past, but we are trying to fit in as many students as possible. And we do have some contingency plans on our end in place if we do have, a huge number of students who want to attend this year. We have some plans for how we would handle that. So we're trying to make sure that all students who want to attend will still be able to do so.
In the event of a COVID shutdown in September, is the idea that we would do online first or push it out and then switch to online or in some sort of fashion?
So the question was about if we have to shut down in September, do we move to an online format, or do we try to push the classes out? We believe that there's a lot of value, especially in discussions about etiquette and having the students meeting together. And actually this year, because it's only etiquette and because the students are sitting at tables, I'm really excited about the opportunity we have to really dive in and have them working together, have them discussing together, providing some more interactive activities. Normally when the students are around the room and we have to have space for a dance floor, it's a lot harder to have them practice certain things and interact with each other. And so that will actually be built into classes this year. So that's a long way of saying we would like to have classes if possible. We would probably push classes. If we get to March and it's still not looking like we're able to have classes, then we would say, all right, for this year, we're just going to do virtual only. $150. If you've already paid that or paid the full price, we'll refund. I mean, we'll do whatever we have to, but that would be the plan.
Can you explain the year? So year one is what grades in which chapters?
Sure.
And then for that, and then what the first and second year programs look like.
Sure. Okay. So the question was about how the differences in age group and content for year one and year two. So in our Alexandria chapter, first year starts at 7th grade and second year starts at 8th grade. For our Great Falls and Reston chapters, first year starts in 6th grade and second year starts in 7th grade. Now there's always a little wiggle room on that based on your family's needs. So, I didn't explain the content difference.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
If I register for the class but decide online class is better, can you explain both the switching and then the pricing difference? Yes.
So the difference between, if the question was about, they can hear it, you think?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry. The question was about if you sign up for in-person and then decide to change your mind, decide you only want to do virtual, how does that work? Of course, if you decide that virtual is what works best for your family, by all means, we are happy to have you go to the virtual program. The virtual program is $150. We will mail you a book. We will have some of those things sent to you so you can still work with us online. And then if you would like to, say, have your student do the online classes only, but also attend the dinner, you'll have an additional $50 fee for the dinner.
And then are the online sessions at the same time as classes?
The question was, are the online sessions at the same time as classes? The online sessions will probably be from 6:30 to 7:30 and then 7:30 to 8:30. We haven't finalized the dates and times for the online classes quite yet, but they will be in that twice a month time frame. And we will only have one per year. So one for first year, one for second year from across all of our chapters.
That's it for the questions I was asking.
Okay. You guys, great questions. If you guys have any more questions, now's the time to go ahead and put them in. Otherwise, like I said, all this information will be available online. We'd be happy to, do we have one?
What kind of class comes after Premier? So what kind of class is there for kids attending the 4th year of Kentucky? So I just explained the Premier in high school.
The question was about Premier in high school. So our Premier is typically in our Great Falls and Northwestern programs for 8th graders. Because we start Alexandria a year later, it's just how it's always been done in Alexandria. We don't have a Premier program specifically. We move straight to high school. But Premier is for our 8th grade students. Typically, we do sometimes have freshmen in our Great Falls and Northwestern chapters attend Premier, and then high school would be like the 4th year, and that's for any age in high school. So freshman through senior year, we get students of all age ranges, all experience levels. So some students who have never done cotillion before, and some students who have done, you know, the whole shebang, who've done all of it. Sorry, excuse me.
The other question was, what are the different days the chapters meet?
Oh, the question was about which days each chapter meets. So Great Falls meets on Tuesdays at the Riverbend Country Club. Alexandria meets on Wednesdays at the Mount Vernon Country Club, and Northwestern meets on Thursdays at Hidden Creek Country Club. Okay, wonderful. If you have any other questions, please ask away, or if we didn't get to them now, or you didn't want to ask in this format, Please feel free to email us. Please feel free to call us. We're happy to set up a time to chat with you or to chat about specific concerns you have either for your student or just in general. We do love to ensure that each student feels safe in our classes, and whether that's in a health and safety environment, whether that's in a learning environment, whatever it is, we want to make sure that our students are safe and comfortable and happy in our classes. And we really think that this year will provide a very rich opportunity to have really meaningful and impactful discussions around the etiquette portion, around how to build respect, about how to show respect. We think that there is no better climate in our world right now than what we have to have these kinds of discussions. So I think it will actually be an incredibly useful and really rich discussion this year. No questions? No more, Hen?
No.
All right. No more questions. We thank you so much for taking time out of your evening. We know that most people are on Zoom or some sort of meeting all day long anyway, so we really appreciate you taking the time out to spend a little portion of your evening with us. We so appreciate our Cotillion families, and we love spending time with your kids. It's why we do this 100%. Oh, we do. We'll have one more question.
Are virtual classes live filmed or just booklets?
Oh, the question was about the format of virtual classes. This is a great question. The virtual classes will be live, so like a Zoom class with the workbook sort of in hand for you to have at home. So hopefully that will provide support in both ways. It won't just be a recorded class that you watch. It will be sort of an interactive hour that we spend together. Okay. Perfect. All right. Wonderful questions. We really appreciate it. Like I said, we won't waste any more of your time, but thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us, or all of this information has recently been added to our website. So any information that we talked about tonight is also online, but like I said, we would be more than willing and happy to talk to you about it. So thank you all. Have a good night.